So my point is, if you believe in women's rights, do you support Israel? Do you support Israel?
Israel the people or Israel the state, the government?
Both.
The state.
The state.
The
only state.
Issues.
No, they're not.
I support the people.
It's the only state where women have rights in the Middle East.
Listen,
That's a
man,
fact.
No, it's not a fact.
That is a fact.
No,
name another one.
That is a
the
fact.
fact of the matter in Africa, where most
Saudi
of the
Arabia, they
Muslim
can't
countries
drive?
are, and there's also Christians.
No.
As many of the countries have, Christians are doing the human rights abuses.
That is an absolute outright lie.
Just go and Google it.
Unequivocally, that is a lie. Is that a lie? So
there are bad apples in all religions.
Where are Christians?
Dude, there's bad apples in all religions.
Let's go to Africa for a minute. Who's oppressing people in Africa right now?
All sorts. There's many countries. Africa's bigger than our
Christians.
Christians,
absolutely.
African Christians.
Oh my
African
goodness.
Christians are oppressing women.
Yes.
Where? State? Where? Gays?
Yes.
If you're gay,
Christians
they'll
came
throw
from
you out
here.
the top of a roof in the Middle East? Really?
Yes, they're doing the same in Africa. Are you kidding me? Christians
Christians,
came
but not
from
Christians.
here. You're damn right. But just good. They have that slogan.
You have no clue what you're talking about.
Morocco, Libya, Ethiopia.
hold on.
Right,
Wait,
right.
I mean, yeah, there's plenty of countries. It's a big continent with lots and lots of countries.
Lots and lots of countries. Where are Christians oppressing people?
Morocco's, Libya, Ethiopia.
Yeah,
All right, we gotta
Oh,
move.
really?
We gotta move out of
Okay.
this guy's way. Sorry.
A little bit further down where there's no poly jack. Thank you so much.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you.
So you're just not hearing it. I'm saying that there are oppressors in every religion.
And you
The
said
thing
those
is,
people are
it's not to
Christians,
ban
right?
an entire religion of Muslims
What's
just
that?
because
Those
there's some bad apples there. Am I right?
No,
we gotta move
I
more.
mean just how because I want to.
I was just trying to clarify. a
My
point.
bad.
But you were saying they weren't Christian, right?
No. I was clarifying a point. He said something about homosexuals being thrown off of roofs.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
you said by
It's
the
punishable
Christians. I
by
said,
death.
no,
So was
he's
adultery.
Not talking about the Christians. He's
You
talking
steal
about
something, they chop
a
your
common
hand off.
practice in Iran and in ISIS-held territories that if you're found to be a homosexual, you'll be tossed off of a roof.
Okay.
Sometimes
And
ducked into a
Christians
chair.
are oppressing people here in the United States. So I mean,
Oh,
so you
really?
can't single
But
out.
how? I'm pressing
Where?
out.
Where?
How about Dylan Roof killing all the people in
Oh,
that church
God.
down?
That's-
He was a Christian, right?
That's not an
Okay.
argument.
I mean, how
He's a
about
psychopath.
how about
No.
Oh, so when it's American Christians, it's a psychopath. When it's elsewhere, oh, they're religious fanatics.
KKK
That's
were
how Trump
psychopaths.
people think.
Okay,
Evidently.
first of all, so anyone that is a Christian, if they go kill someone, any wacko, any nutcase that goes out and commits something, you're gonna tag that and connect that to Christianity.
No, but I'll tell you
And
what.
well, you could say the same
KKK.
statement and apply that to Muslims. Apply
Really?
that
Yes.
to
Really?
yeah.
What
Yes, really.
What terrorist organization is being ran?
What
by
Muslim
home-
countries have you spent time in?
What?
What Muslim countries have you spent time in? Put
Which
yourself
ones
in
have you-
their shoes,
which-
man.
which
here
ones have you-
here
which
in the
ones
United
have you
States,
spent time in?
I haven't. I'm
Oh, I haven't either. Okay, so we're on the same footing.
Yes, we're
Okay.
we're here, but I'm not saying that I know that all Muslims, without having been there, are murderous.
Never said that.
Religious zealots. I'm saying that you give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and that you don't ban everyone in a religion just because I don't like that religion, as Trump would say.
And also, okay, I'll give you this.
Okay.
That's what you're saying.
Oh, actually, I'll come back to Donald Trump. Let me go back to what I was saying about the claim. They claim Christianity, okay? They set up crosses and burn them. They say they are going to enslave niggers in the name of Jesus. You can look it up. That's what they do. So they are claiming Christianity. Now, as a Christian, I will tell you, shut up. No, they're not Christians.
Of course.
At all, in theory, but that's what they claim. Just like Islamic terrorists claim Islam, whether that's what Islam stands for or not. That is, they're under that umbrella, and that's what people point the finger
Yeah,
at.
let me tell you why.
All right, the Christian doctrine of
Okay.
discovery has been used to oppress, countries throughout the
Okay.
world.
What?
Time immemorial.
Listen,
Christian people
listen.
brought slaves over from Africa,
Listen.
put them in chains, murdered them. That was a
Listen.
Holocaust. The Native Americans here, a Holocaust bigger than the
Okay.
population of Europe.
Okay.
You don't think that Christianity
Listen.
or Christians have done things in the name of Christianity that have
of course.
harmed people?
Of course.
So then you don't ban Christians from the USA, do
No-
you?
no
Just
one's-
like you don't ban Muslims.
No
and that's
one
what
said to
Donald
ban
Trump wants to
Muslims.
do.
What Muslims are banned? There's not
They're not banned yet, but that's the policy that he's
it's not.
suggesting. He says he wants to
Immigration.
ban on all Muslims.
God.
I, Donald Trump,
So let me
today
ask you
state.
this. Let me ask you this.
Illegal Muslims.
You've got rocks in your head. If you think out of 1 billion Muslims,
Big insult.
that 10
Big insult.
Listen. 10% of Muslims. Most experts in Islam say 8 to 10% are radicalized. Okay, so that's 90 to 92% that are not. Do the math.
Okay, do the math on all the mass shootings here in the United States. They're all white male Christians. Do the math.
More people. I've heard that one. I think that's amazing. More people were
Orlando
killed.
was not a white Christian.
More people.
San
Exactly.
Bernardino was not a
I
white
was-
Christian.
What about the Native American Holocaust?
No, let's move up to the 21st century.
Right now.
Okay.
That's what's
More
relevant
people were
today.
killed by Islamic terrorists
no,
in
how do they
America.
get a pass?
In America,
No, how do they get
that have
a
ever been
pass?
killed by
All right,
Christians in
so I
America.
talk about the 21st century. You move it up, and you don't like it. I go
9/11 till now.
I go back in history. You don't like it, so you're not going to like any of the responses I have.
Okay.
Well, they're just, it's pure ignorance. You have no
On your
clue.
part, yes.
You have no clue what you're talking about. You have no clue what you're talking
Well,
about.
no.
Anyone that would anyone
Are
that
all
would
the mass
compare-
murderers in the United States pretty much like 99% white male Christians? Are they not?
80, listen. That's
I'm asking the question.
one of the dumbest things I've ever in my life. 70.
How
we
so?
are a Christian nation.
How so?
So 75.
Dylan Roof wasn't radicalized?
Who?
Dylan Roof.
Was he radicalized?
Yeah.
By Islam?
No, radicalized by Christianity.
Do you believe that?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you. Do you
I'm
believe that?
asking
You
you.
believe he was radicalized?
I'm not, because
How was he radicalized?
What do you
Like
think?
you can go on websites right now and you can find people that are being radicalized by Islam. There are lone wolf attacks that are happening. There are websites and there are places you can go to get trained to murder Westerners. What I'm asking you is, what networks are you talking about? Where was Dylan Roof radicalized?
So, okay.
Is there any evidence he was radicalized? There's evidence he was mentally ill.
I mean,
He was nuts.
I believe that you're going to come back with an argument about history versus radicalization.
Right?
I mean,
we're not going to blame Christians for that.
I do have an answer.
We're damaged there, bro. Christians were.
I do.
Right? I don't care what color
What?
they were.
I mean, he doesn't.
It's circular.
He
Circular
doesn't
argument.
have a web page with his Confederate flags there.
Who's that?
A radical hate group. The same person we're talking about, Dylan Roof.
You're talking about.
Oh, sure.
You're talking about a
No, this is the guy he's talking about.
You're talking about a lunatic.
Oh, right. And again, that's what you say. So if they're Americans, they're lunatics. If they're Muslims, they're radicalized.
This guy was a mass murderer.
Why don't you go?
Right.
Why not
and-
talk about Ted Bundy?
Right. So, why not talk about any of the Muslims, versus the Christians? I mean, the argument goes back and
So in your
forth.
mind, you honestly do think that Islam and Christianity, in terms of violence being perpetrated in the world, are on equal footing, similar.
Well, it depends
In terms
on
of oppression of
you're
women,
saying
you would say they're
you bring
similar.
it back to 9/11, and then we talk about further back. So I mean, I guess it depends. In the time of all the time in history, I don't know who can weigh it all. Christianity
It's
with
a
the
mystery,
Crusades,
isn't it? It's a mystery,
Christianity with the Crusades, Native American Holocaust, the African American Holocaust, British colonialization.
Salvation Army, all the Presbyterian, Baptist, Catholic hospitals in the world. Yeah, it's pretty close to the same thing. I hear you, buddy.
What are you saying that I'm saying that?
Yeah, I'm saying that you're saying you're comparing the two. You're acting like they're comparable in terms of violence being perpetrated, in terms of oppression of women. You're acting like they're comparable.
Wait, of women? This is about oppression of women
Oh,
specifically?
absolutely. That was the beginning of the
Okay, no,
conversation.
that was like 20 minutes ago.
So we've changed conversations now?
I thought you were talking about oppression in general.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. You think they're comparable? Yes or no?
Muslims and Christians?
Muslims, Christians, you think they're comparable? in terms of oppression and violence being perpetrated, you think they're comparable?
I don't think that you should put the blame on the religion. That's my point across the board.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that there is evidence of Christians doing,
It must be. Do you know what Sharia law is?
I sure do.
Yeah.
Usually it
Do you
says
think-
Sharia, but
Sharia. Sorry about that.
yeah, no, I know. But you're the expert.
You're an expert, obviously. So,
I am not.
okay. Do you think that Islam is to blame for that?
That Islam is to blame for Sharia law.
Sharia law, yes.
Well, since Sharia law is based on Islam, rather,
Bingo. Got it.
that doesn't mean that you can't have, Christians that have a version of Christian Sharia law.
Oh, sure. Where's that at? Where can I find that at?
I'm not saying such a thing exists.
The next 8 are
You're saying it does?
Right.
It does. It does.
I'm not saying such a thing exists.
Okay.
But one might make the argument.
Oh, sure.
Because everyone argues about
Right.
it's a Christian nation. This guy was saying it earlier. You were saying that it's a Christian nation. That the
Going to
entire
the moon.
United States Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. Some might say that that's Christian Sharia law.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Do you believe you believe the government bombed the World Trade Center?
Say
Do you
again?
believe that? The government bombed the World Trade Center?
Just like where the book
Did the government bomb the World Trade Center?
Yeah, correct.
Well, there's no evidence of that. I'm not saying there's evidence the other way.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
You believe that?
I guess
Do you believe Bernie Sanders is a Mormon?
So really,
Do you believe Bernie Sanders is a Mormon and one of the 12 apostles?
he's never
In
said
the
he was a
quorum?
Mormon, so I
But he
take him
could
at his
be.
word.
He could be. You never know. You believe that the man walking on the moon was a movie?
Wait, Bernie Sanders? You're saying that you think Bernie Sanders is a Mormon?
Oh, I'm just saying. You said that there might be a Christian version of Sharia law.
Right, I'm saying.
Right, and I'm just saying.
To some people's way of thinking, since your friend in the red Trump hat was saying that
He's not
the
my.
United
I
States.
don't know him. I have no clue who he
Okay,
is.
well, I'm saying he is a person. Some people, he is a person,
Feel that
have
the
said
penalty is
that the United
acceptable
States
for
is a
using
Christian
Islam for
country.
reason.
And if it is a Christian country and Christianity rules over our government, then one might interpret that as a Christian Sharia law. Christianity being the superior law of the land.
And I'm not
So,
Do you believe
so
that? Do you believe
I do
that?
not believe that. As I said,
you're
from the
saying
beginning,
that
we
part
shouldn't
of the
discriminate on
conversation
race,
came up.
on religion,
Point of this
on
today
gender
was a
preference,
champion
on gender
women's
itself.
rights.
We shouldn't discriminate on any of those things. And Donald Trump saying that he wants to ban all Muslims, that's a problem. But this man over here said that the United States was a Christian nation, and therefore that could be interpreted as a Christian Sharia law. Now, I don't mean Sharia literally, but if you're saying that Sharia law, okay, since it's based on Muslim rules.
right.
That it's basing it on their religion. Now that can be applied to Christianity very easily, and that's the only point that I was getting at.
Where's the evidence of that?
This man here who just said
I'm asking you.
that's the evidence of it. A person can say that Christianity is the law of the land, that it is a Christian land. This man right here is the evidence. Right here, he's the evidence. And I've heard plenty of other people make this argument.
So you're equivocating our rule of law in America to Sharia law?
I'm saying when one
think
says that Christian, no, I do not. I'm saying
think the Ten
I'm saying that when one puts Christianity, when one puts their religion above the laws of the land, above the government, that yes, that would be an equivalent. I don't believe that that's the way it should go. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But when people like him say that it's a Christian land,
Do you believe
it's
we
the
should
same
have
thing.
laws? Do you believe we should have laws?
Laws, yes, they they make sure that people don't crash into each other. There's a certain amount of laws that
Regrettably have laws.
Okay, yeah,
that I
it's
think
good.
that we
It's a good
should
thing,
have.
right?
There's a much deeper
that-
answer I could give to that, honestly, but that's a whole.
You
nother-
believe in laws?
I believe this. I believe that they're necessary to what we're given. And what I mean by that is that, there's an old saying that I firmly believe in, is that good men don't need laws and bad men will always find a way around them.
Okay.
Now, I'm not, like I said, I think they're necessary. To sit here and say we don't need laws, we don't need rules, I can't say that. I believe deep down we don't. I believe we can be beyond that.
Okay.
So
So are you're a Christian?
yes.
So do you believe that we do not need the Ten Commandments, the Christian, or any of the commandments that are in the Bible?
You know, the funny thing about it, Christianity is about following Jesus, and at the end of the day, thou shalt not kill. That's in the Ten Commandments, as well as Jesus also proponent not murder.
Okay.
So some things just don't change, other things do.
All right,
Now,
you guys go across the street. I'm gonna have 4 minutes drive.
All right, we get.
Yeah, hungry.